Yeah, 100%. I'm having fun with it. Onward as we go, Greg. How are you feeling about Kaiju number 8, season 2, episode 5?
Animation got shittier.
You did say that earlier. That was an hour ago, so
I did like how they circled back to familiar characters from season 1 and brought back Kafka's old life to put everything into perspective.
Ooh, that was good. I really did like that. There are a few things about this show that I'm really enjoying. Actual walking into his past and talking to his old friends. Awesome. Showing characters' loss and their emotions with it, and how some people don't believe loss is real and just push it back and bury it until they come to a breaking point. And that breaking point being Shinomiya going through what she's going through. Gen Narumi demanding power and doing anything to get there. All of this character development, I'm enjoying. But yes, I 100% agree the animation is not getting better. But I don't think this is an episode they really need to dump that much into. I think the voice acting's carrying a lot of it.
You can look back to Hikaru and you can say, like, nothing's happening. So why are they spending so much time animating all those little things? So
yeah,
it definitely enhances the quality. And like, for me personally, like, the little details is what separates an anime from being average, like Kaiju number 8 season 2, to being something that grasps you. Like Hikaru.
Hikaru getting fisted.
Yeah. I want Yoshiki to grasp me and then slurp and glurp, right? Is that
Yeah. You got it. Okay. You nailed it. My theory on it is that the same thing that is like Solo Camping for 2, their animation is not great, but it's fine. It's serviceable. And their locations, it seems like, you know what? I thought about it, and it seems like their locations are photoshopped. They'll take a real picture and then they'll like animeify it, quote unquote, and then they'll just put it in, and then like the people walk across it. So it's almost like those old school RPGs where you had static backgrounds and then dynamic characters over it.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, prime example. 100%. Yep.
Old Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, not remake. So that is what I'm seeing a lot.
Since you brought up Solo Camping, when Gen was making the rice inside of the paper cup and he was putting the tin foil over it, it looked like it was like a texture that was inserted in. Like it was an animated tin foil. And I did notice it, but I also didn't mind it because it's tinfoil around a cup. It's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Episode 5, Kaiju number 8.
Kaijuing all over the place.
It picks up where episode 4 left off, and Narumi and Kafka are fighting Kaiju number 9, but Shinomiya is in the back, not doing anything and thinking that the thing that killed her father is right in front of her, but she can't do anything. Kafka and Narumi are still fighting, but they aren't able to take Kaiju number 9. But as he's about to peace out of there, his right arm falls off, and Narumi is like, now's our chance. And he stabs him and Gunblade blasts him.
It's pretty sick. Right in the fucking arm socket, too. He was like, I'm shoving this in the hole. Pew, 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 pew. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger right at the end there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What, in Predator or which movie?
Pick any fucking one.
Okay. Kindergarten Cop. How about that?
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. He punches the kid's arm off, and then he takes his sword gun and he shoots it up the kid's arm. And then it gets all bulbous and the kid explodes like Nanami.
Yeah, I knew it was familiar.
Yeah, that's the scene.
Kaiju number 9 says the rejection response from absorbing Isao is keeping him from hardening his body. And Kafka is like, I'm going to kill you because this isn't fair to Shinomiya. And he punches Kaiju number 9, and Kaiju number 9 says the healing process accelerates the rejection response. And he's like, my last hurdle is you, Kaiju number 8. And then Kafka punches Kaiju number 9's left arm off. Kaiju number 9 is like, this is the end. And then he unleashes a large attack and explodes the area, and his body starts to fall apart and is like, damn, I was about to lose my hard, beautiful new body. But Kafka and Narumi were still standing, and he's like, damn, I'm dumb. I should have done this from the start. And then he splits his head and attacks both Shinomiya and Kurusu. Kaiju number 9 sports the Isao head and is like, humans are weird and can't abandon someone in need. He's like, the era of Kaiju will begin, and then flies away.
As Isao's head, but
yeah.
Very, like, okay, I get it. You really want to, like, hammer home that you've won this exchange. One thing that is cool that I did really like is the evolution of the Kaiju number 9. Like, all of when he goes to explode around him, he unclips these like scales upward, and it looks like a rocket ship's about to take off. And I was like, that's kind of fucking sick that he just explodes a pillar upward. And he's like, oh shit, I blew off my own legs. I only got the spine and some wings left. Oops. I was like, oh, I mean, you got to get used to that, bud.
Yeah.
What if your superpower was like, I'm going to blow up the area, and then you just explode with it?
My superpower is I'm going to blow up the area and I'm not immune to my own explosions.
That is literally an X-Men comic book, actually. Now that I think about it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Or something out of Deadpool.
100%.
Cuts to the empty JAKDF office of Isao as all the other Defense Force members are standing there like, what the fuck just happened? Cuts to Shibuya Square, and the news reports that Isao died during the last Kaiju attack, and they have a funeral for him with all the Defense Force dudes as Narumi is thinking about old times of Isao blowing up Kaiju and telling Narumi to protect the Defense Force and the nation. And Kafka is like, Shinomiya didn't show up. Cuts to Isao's office, and Shinomiya is in there, and Narumi walks in and is like, you sure you didn't want to say goodbye? And she's like, I couldn't do anything because I was weak and slow. And that's why Kaiju number 9 got away. And Narumi is like, nah. But then she's like, I want to be stronger. And my dad is still trapped within Kaiju number 9, and she can't say goodbye until the Defense Force takes it down. Narumi says he will make her stronger, only second to him, and he will teach her everything that Isao taught him. Kafka is standing outside of the door, and his hand is still fucked up from the fight, and you can see Kaiju number 8 fibers from underneath his skin, and he hides it with a glove.
I don't know how this works because it doesn't make sense to me. Because is Kaiju number 8 just right under his skin and doesn't want to help?
They explain it, and this isn't too much of a spoiler because they're going to go into it at the end of this episode. They're saying that the more Kafka transforms, the more that Kaiju number 8 is taking over.
It's like, okay, well, his hand is somewhat healing a little bit, and he's just like looking down and it's just got this giant hole in it. Shouldn't it not be fibers? Shouldn't it be like I don't know, it feels weird.
I see what you're saying. But yeah, how the story explains it is the more he transforms, the more he loses his humanity and turns more into a kaiju. So this is just the start of it, where as he transforms to use Kaiju number 8's power, he is slowly losing who he is and becoming the kaiju.
Okay.
Cuts to Keiji, bald vice director guy, going into the secret lab that Isao went into in episode 1. And Kurusu said this is the secret project that Isao had them proceed with, and if anything happened to him, he was to show Keiji and follow his orders. Keiji is like, Isao always making me do your dirty work, and smiles, and tells Kurusu to proceed and get ready for their revenge match. Shinomiya and Shinonome are sparring, and Narumi is like, this shit's boring, hurry up and get on my level, as he's playing his pink PSP.
It's a Switch 2. Get it together, Greg.
That 100% isn't a Switch 2.
That's a Switch 3, in fact.
Oh, damn.
It's
okay,
the
yeah,
future,
yeah, yeah.
okay?
Oh, you're right. That makes sense.
And it's made of kaiju dicks.
He says that it will take him about a month to beat this game. And he's like, you got to surpass all of the first division by the time I'm done. Hasegawa comes and just kicks him out of his chair and is like, did you make your decision on if Kaiju number 8 is part of their team? But just then, they get a communication about news on Kaiju number 8. Cuts to Kafka, and he made it back to his old apartment. And then it cuts back to the Defense Force, and they say that Kafka's Kaiju transformation is progressing, and part of him isn't changing back, referring to his hand. And they don't know what it is, but if he keeps transforming, we don't know if he'll be able to return to being human. Cuts back to Kafka, and he's checking out his janitor gear and his taped up box of smokes that says no smoking. Cuts back to Hasegawa, and he is like, does Kafka know about this? And the scientist dude is like, yeah. and it's possible he'll never go back to living a normal life. So that's why they're doing this, right? They're basically showing Kafka's normal life, what he was before, being a janitor, trying not to smoke, and then contrasting that with his current path where if he continues to transform, he's going to lose all of that.
It's showing what he's willing to sacrifice to get next to his friend. And I do appreciate this. Everybody is sacrificing something. All of Japan has been sacrificing to fight these kaiju. And showing it in a granular level with our main character, it does tug at the heartstrings. Obviously, like, the animation's not as great as it was in season 1, but the animation of the show was always like a little bit weird in certain situations, like just the exaggeration of the characters. But I still really enjoyed the story they're telling. I'm feeling still a 7. I think these episodes are giving me hope for the show's storyline to continue in a healthy way, and like in a positive and like enjoyable way. It's gonna be terrible for the characters. We're gonna watch them all have the worst time, but this is what I'm here for.
Kafka is cleaning his place and is like, oh shit, there's one more place I want to go. And it cuts to the cleaning crew and they're like, damn, look at all these corpses we gotta cut up. Makes me feel like we're the ants. So they're cleaning up all of the Kaiju number 9 ants from before. Kafka is like, what to do, boys? And he returns some gamer subs that he borrowed from his cleaning crew friends so they could get through a night of cutting up kaiju corpses. And they saved 10% off of their gamer subs order by using promo code DJ Montague at checkout.
That's pretty sick that they did that, because I didn't know Kafka knew me like that, but I appreciate it for him to just come in and gamer subs the whole squad and really amp their spirits up, because gamer subs, you can get the caffeinated or the caffeine-free versions, and they're all fucking delicious. I just had a glass myself. Greg, you got a glass? Yep, right there. My order should be here in a couple weeks of my new pre-ordered stuff. I'm pretty excited to try all my new flavors. And still, my favorite flavor, Dragon Fruit Punch.
The cleaning crew needed the caffeinated version, and they are sipping on the limited edition new Kaiju chainsaw that you could get at gamersubs.gg and save 10% off using promo code DJ Montague at checkout.
Again, Greg's just making up flavors, by the way. I say the real flavors. Greg's like, here's a Kaiju chainsaw you could drink. And it's like, no, that's not real, but like, anime girl thighs is a real flavor, so
these are all viable names for flavors.
They really are. Yeah, they really are.
Okay, well, he doesn't return gamer subs. He returns some books he borrowed and sees them cutting up the ants. And he's like, fuck yeah. Then he sees the new chainsaw and he's like, oh shit, is that the new version? And he takes it for a spin and everyone is like, fuck yeah. Kafka, you should come back. You'd be the star of the team. Kafka is like, yeah, boys, let's get to work. And they chop up a bunch of ants just like old times. And Kafka leaves, and they're like, man, Isao is dead. Shouldn't we leave? And they're like, nah. Who's going to clean up Kaiju number 9 after they fuck him up?
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah,
a nice little interaction here.
Dude, these guys are the best. They're sticking through it for the sake of humanity, knowing we have to overcome this adversity together. Whether or not they are on, like he says, like earlier, he's like, you're on the bottom rung of the defense force, right? Like, they just shit on you all the time. If you come back, you could be the star of the show. He understands his place in the world, but understands how important this is. And they're like, yeah, he's just a drunk, but I mean, he knows his shit. So. And
I mean, even these guys here, the old cleanup crew leader guy, he also understands too. It's like they're not on the front lines fighting kaiju and stuff, but they're doing their part, to basically clean up after. Like, we're all part of this, is what they're saying. And it doesn't matter how small your part seems compared to other people's parts. We're all doing this together, and we're all going through this together. Yeah. So we're not going to run. We're going to hang with the crew and do our part.
Yeah.
Kafka is at the Defense Force base looking at his messed up hand and is like, I don't want to see my friends hurt anymore, and I gotta beat Kaiju number 9. Narumi sits down and he's like, I can't let you join the Defense Force, because if you keep transforming, you'll never go back to being human, and I could never let anyone do that. But then he's like, with that being said, dude, you got to help us, man. Like, fucking, we
are
can't
so
go
fucked
on
without you, bro.
Just like, don't worry about it. Just transform and fuck yourself up. You got to do it, please.
Listen, I'll kill you. I swear I will so hard once you do transform fully and you can't take you control and like help humans anymore. But like, please help us until then. I'm so scared. I'm so fucking scared right now.
Yeah, so he says, I don't care if you turn into a kaiju because I'll just kill you after. And that's how bad I want to kill kaiju number 9. And I know you feel the same way. Kafka says Isao gave him a chance when everyone objected. I'm in. And Narumi is like, sick. It's our turn now. And then they do the hand dab with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other guy, and their biceps were fucking
flexing
jacked.
So hard, dude. His suit just like constricts, and Gen's arm is like 2 arms put together, holding Kafka's like angry kaiju hand. That doesn't happen at all.
No, it doesn't. I feel like it should happen.
It
but
should have. It would stink, dude. And it just shows at the bottom like the meme it comes from. I'd be really down for that.
Then it cuts to Hoshino walking into the secret lab. And he's like, hey, yo, what it do, Kaiju number 10? And then you have an image of parts of Kaiju number 10 inside of the test tube.
Dude, that shit is sick, by the way. Like, the almost like mask of teeth in front of the like front of human teeth. This, and like the clamshell headpiece with the pearl one eye stick. I was like, yo, what are we doing? We're going crazy. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so
it feels
excited.
like it's something out of like Evangelion or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And they did a good job on the animation of it as well. It didn't look like shit. So I thought it was cool.
This is where they spend their whole animation budget.
Yeah, the whole budget of this
right
whole
here.
episode was right here. They were like, all right, Devin, the expensive guy, get the fuck over here and draw some dope shit. And Devin's like, it's gonna cost you.
Kaiju number 8. That's the end of the episode.
And then we get this stick figure shit at the end.
Yeah. That, I didn't even. I don't watch that.
And so. Devin was like, I'm leaving. I don't need to see this garbage.
And then they're like, Greg, DJ Montague, you're up. And then we just draw stick figures.
Yeah, we draw stick figures. And
For
we're
free.
like, team. It's not even the original voice acting. It's just me and Greg being fucking idiots. Anyways, I thought this episode was good. I thought it was really solid.
It had its good part. It's above average, but again, I said it last episode, just comparing it to the season prior, it just doesn't sit well with me that it's like this. And I guess you can say the same thing about like One Punch Man also, where season 2 kind of had the same issues or suffered from the same issues. And with season 3 of One Punch Man coming out, you have the forum naysayers on there saying that it's just going to be straight up trash, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know, man. This happens with everything. Once the doomers get a hold of the community, you have to constantly fight, dude. I have my doomer moments with Supervive. I worry about the game's health. I do believe in the developers, but am I going to be around for the whole thing? That's a question I have internally. And as soon as I voice that, you have like 100 other people that are like, see, I told you, you have a very prominent figure in this community all dooming. And you're like, dude, it ain't even like that. Like, I'm just being a real human and being vulnerable with my community. It's so frustrating because all it is passion dying. They're just as passionate as we ever were. And they want the game to succeed, but they don't know how to voice it, and they don't know how to do it have a healthy communication about it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They don't want to see it die or whatever anime that we're, insert anime here. They themselves really do like it, but instead of a healthy way of having a conversation about their internal issues of managing the unknown expectation of the new anime that's going to come out, it has, for some reason, it just comes out as weird and aggressive and condescending when it doesn't have to. For some reason, that's just a standard knee-jerk response of a lot of people towards something that they are fearful of or don't know what the state of that thing is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into Dan to Dan.